Oh, there we go. All right, so if you're watching this video, like post, show, there's going to be some dead time until everybody comes back in. I was stuck on the loading screen for the last 15 minutes. So we'll wait a minute. There's one person here. So we'll wait a second, try to get some more people in before we get started. Yeah, Derek, I have no idea what that was about because it was stuck on this live stream loading for like 5 minutes, and I refreshed the page, and then boom, here we are. So I have no idea what that was about. So anyway, we'll get started, I guess. We got 5 people. Last week's conversation about like torches and some of the weird cups kind of got me thinking. We did that video on the Everlast page. If you go back and look, we did a cup video showing a number 5 standard like I've got here. I don't run very often. And then going to a 5 gas lens and kind of showing the differences between them, how they react to gas flow. Originally, we wanted to do that video with a number 5 standard and a number 6 standard with a number 5 and number 6 gas lens, but just doing the number 5s, the video was already like 15 minutes long. We ended up running a number 18 and showing how you can make that work at like 60 CFH. So yeah, it just kind of got me thinking it'd be kind of nice to run through a couple different sizes, show you guys like some high and low gas flow, just so you guys can see what's, you can read your welds a little bit better and see, okay, it'll give you a point of reference. Like this is what too high a gas flow looks like. I've got the demo from the video we did a couple months ago right here. So you can see we've got, this is a 5 standard, 5 gas lens, and then an 18 gas lens. And we went 5, 10, and 25 CFH, and then 15, 30, and 60 CFH on the 18 gas lens. So, but it's always a little different seeing them ran live. So we can do that. We can run, like a 5 standard, 6 standard, like a 5 gas lens, and I normally run a 7. So we can kind of run through a couple and just to show you guys what to look for. One of the interesting things is actually on this backside. So this will be obviously the 18 gas lens. You can see the different flow rates and how the heat input and the heat signature on the backside changed. And you can see it's that's all the way through the different cup sizes. So as we went up in gas flow, we went down in heat input, even though the all the settings on the machine were exactly the same. So just to get a little wider variety, we can run through a couple of those. I threw away all my cans that I had in the shop. I actually did some cleaning out yesterday, but just to show you guys, I think I might have showed you guys this the other night, but this is one of the things I'm working on. So this was actually ran with number 7 gas lens with 1/8" tungsten. Welding up the side of a can. So that's one of the things I want to get this a little more dialed in before I bring it on the live stream, trying to weld up a Coke and a Pepsi can. But here's another set that I filled out. Again, this is with an 1/8" tungsten. So that's something maybe we can go over one of these days too, welding cans. That's always kind of a fun little party trick. But anyway, let's get started. I've got a standard 5 on my torch right now. So there we go. I got a standard 5 currently. I'm going to run this first at 10 CFH. And as you guys can see, the way I have my machine set up, I've got to kind of go around the table to get to my regulator. So there's going to be a little delay in action here and there as I adjust the gas flow. But let's go ahead and get started. We'll run this number 5 cup at 10 CFH, generally the recommendation is to run, take your cup size and double it, and that'll give you a good starting spot for your gas flow. So let's run through a couple cups. We'll do that, kind of show you what the average, rule of thumb is. And then I can run through a couple cups to kind of show you where I like to run them. So let's get started. All right. So we're just working with some 090 5052 aluminum. I've got the machine set up at 121 hertz, 35% balance, and 121 amps. Yeah, I do, Derek, I do have a number 5 with a gas lens. So I can run a 5 gas lens, standard 5, like regular call it body. And then I've also got the biggest I have for a 20 series is a 6 standard. So that's all I can really do on that, unless we threw on a 26 series torch. Then I've got a couple different cups, but that would take a little bit of time. And I already get complaints that we're short on info and log on talking. So let's run a couple real quick. I'll get the arc shot cam. So this is a number 5 standard at 10 CFH. So there we go. Let's get up on the up close cam. So a couple short little runs. See a nice clean start. Those are my tests from earlier. This is before I cleaned the material. So yeah, pretty standard stuff there. Let's go ahead and jump that gas flow up to, let's just take it up to 25 like we did in the other video. So I'll take it up to 25 CFH and kind of show you what too much gas flow looks like. We should be able to see a pretty clear difference right there between those couple of welds, especially on the start. The start will be a lot more erratic, and the etching will look a little more erratic. Let's get on the arc cam. Try to tell me where I'm at, guys. It's always kind of hit or miss where I'm at. So yeah, too much gas flow can cause porosity. It can also cause, quite a bit of turbulence. So I'm going to try to get locked in on this start. So let me know where I'm at on the camera with the start. So you can see how wide the etching is right off the bat. We're running the same exact settings. The only change is we went up in gas flow by about 2.5 times. So we can get back up on the up close cam. So you can see, I should have ran those a little bit further apart. You can see how much wider the etching zone is just from these 2 runs up to that higher gas flow run. So quite a bit of a difference there. So that's one thing, like if you're noticing on your start, like the start's real erratic. A lot of times, people say, oh, I think my points are out of adjustment. It's always good to check your gas flow. I mean, just moving my cart around, I'll bump the regulator every now and then, and I'll be at 40 or 50 CFH without even doing anything. So it's always nice to check it out. So Derek, that's a good question. Let's go ahead and try that. So there we go. So that's how much stick out we're running now. Let's go ahead and let's about double that stick out. So there we go. Let's try that. Let's see how it does. Chad, actually, I'm going to put my hood down. So I've got a little dot right here on my my outside cover lens, and I'm trying to line that up with the torch. So kind of doing that, but the camera moves a little bit. I got to take it off when I'm I've got to take there we go here, sorry. I've got a little dot right here on my hood. I didn't realize I was on the other camera still. So I'm trying to line up that dot with the bottom of my torch and keep that pretty close as I move along. So that's that's why I asked you guys to let me know where I'm at with the camera. All right, so we about doubled our stick out. So let's try what Derek asked and see what that does for us. Get lined up. So, Derek, you led me to my next point. It's like you guys know. Oh, there we go. Disregard the huge crater at the end. Obviously, I'm not trying too hard on quality here. But you can see how shiny those last, even with the higher gas flow, at a normal stick out, you can see how shiny those welds were. Whoop, sorry. And then how dull this one was. So it actually runs a lot hotter. Right? It feels like it runs hotter, which you flip it over and you can see why. Because it did run a lot hotter. And so what we're doing is we're actually losing some of our gas coverage. Even at that little bit of a change in stick out, we're starting to lose some of our gas coverage. So yes, it reduced the etching. The start was actually, I don't know if you guys could see it on video, but the start was actually still pretty erratic. And even at the same trail off, you can see that my craters, I got a fisheye here, but like I said, I'm not really trying. But even doing the same taper off on the, that extended stick out, you can see how bad my crater was. So yeah, it'll reduce the etching, but it also makes for a dirtier, hotter weld. So it's always a fine balance between proper gas flow as well as proper stick out for your tungsten size and your cup. So that was a 3/32 tungsten. That's the only standard collets or collet bodies that I have are 3/32. So I normally weld with 1/8 inch. Let's go ahead. We can jump up to a 6 real quick. It's a nice simple swap. We're going to leave our gas flow high. Suck this tungsten back in. So here we go. Let's get on this number 6 cup. So again, we're running 25 CFH on a 6 standard. Let's run more further away. All right. So you can see, obviously sucking that tungsten back in, it brought our etching back out, but even with that bigger cup, we still got a nice clean weld. Am I using more torch angle? I'm not trying to. I am, maybe subconsciously, but here, I'll leave it out on the far out camera and kind of show you how I was running. Sometimes the art cam can make it like I'm running a really drastic torch angle when I'm not. So yeah, pretty standard torch angle there. We don't. There we go. Let's yeah, I said sometimes that arc shot cam there, I was getting the material was getting a little heat soaked, so we got a little more gray in the weld than I typically would like. Oop, that way. So yeah. So let's go back down in gas flow on this number 6. So we'll go from 25 back down to like 12. So let's go back down to 12. So we ran the 5 at 10. I'm going to run the 6 at about 12. And then we'll jump over to the gas lenses. And we can run a couple of those real quick. And then, yeah, if you guys have any questions or anything you want to see, leave it in the comments. And we'll try to get to it. If it's something I have on hand or something I can jump to in a couple minutes without having too much of a delay of just this blank background, then I'll do it. So I'll do picture in picture there for you guys. There we go. All right, so number 6 standard cup. Back down at 12 CFH. All righty. For being episode 13 and the little problems we had earlier, the arc shot cam seems to be working pretty good tonight. So there we go. You can see there's our last 2 runs at 25 CFH on that 6. You can see back down here at 12 CFH, very reduced etching zone compared to especially that top one. Yeah, bringing that etching zone back in. So yeah, proper gas flow makes a big difference. Let's, just for the sake of everyone here, let's go back down in gas flow. Let's go too low. So that's always something good to see. So we'll go down to like 5 CFH. Excuse me. Yeah, Richard, I used to run a number 8 gas lens. I've switched back to a number 7. I run 1/8 inch tungsten, which we'll get to that in just a second. Like I said, we'll run this number 6 cup down at like 5 CFH just to show you guys what too low a gas flow looks like. And then we'll move on to the what I prefer, which is the gas lenses. Let me get this hood down so you guys aren't staring at my ceiling. All right, try to line this up. So you see it was a pretty nasty start. And I am running about, 0.6 of a second of pre-flow. Let me make sure the art cam didn't lock up. It didn't. Let's run another one just so you guys can try to see that again. A little bit better start. There we go. A little bit better start this time. There's a lot of pepper floating on the weld. We're having almost no etching. All righty. Let's take a look at that. Again, guys, this is kind of like a benchmark, just so you guys can kind of see what's going on with your weld. So these bottom two are a number 6 standard at 12 CFH. There we go, number 6 standard at about 5 CFH. So you can see super dirty start. Whoop, let me get a finger out of the way. Super dirty start. And then there you go. The weld's very grainy. You can almost see the oxide layer still floating on top of the bead. A little bit better start on the second run. I think because I was still having my post-flow run over that start. I think now that my post-flow's done, if I went back and started again, I'd have this real sooty start. But yeah. So if you're looking like this, too low a gas flow, if you're got a super wide etching zone, that's going to be too high gas flow. Also, the starts are real erratic at that high gas flow, which is it's more apparent on the gas lenses when you run too high. So, speaking of gas lens, let's get switched over. What's my go-to tungsten? For aluminum, I run all Midwest, but full disclosure, I am sponsored by them. So, but it is some really good stuff. It is the best tungsten I've used. That's why I use them. I've stayed with them. Super high quality stuff. It's the best I've used. You know, I'm lucky to have a sponsorship through them. But sponsorship aside, Midwest is some seriously good, high quality stuff. It's very consistent, but I use 2% lanthanated 1/8 inch on aluminum, and then I'll use 2% length, 3/32 on stainless, and then stainless steels and mild steel. I'll use 3/32. If you missed it before, on those standard cups, I was using 3/32. That's the only standard call-up I have is a 3/32. So that's all I had. So let's switch over real quick. What filler rod? I'm running 3/32 55, 54. So you guys that have been around the channel for a little bit, been with the live stream, you'll kind of know that I like to give Mark Winchester a shout out to that. He turned me on to the 55, 54. Before that, I was pretty much only running 40, 43. The 55, 54 is a huge upgrade, though. So if you have it at your local supplier, if you can get it, 55, 54 is pretty nice. So let's swap this out. We're going to go to an 1/8 inch gas lens. I do love stickers. You can see my hood. This is my not very stickered up hood. So let's go with a 5 gas lens to start. Or a 4 gas lens, sorry. Let's go with number 4 gas lens to start out. 1 second. Again, guys, if there's anything you guys want to see tonight or in the future, hit me up. It helps me out a lot knowing what you guys want to see. So here we go. This is number 4 gas lens, 1/8" tungsten. I need to bump my gas flow up a little bit, but number 4 gas lens. Let's go. I'm going to go to 10 CFH. It's a little bit high, but I actually prefer to run just a little bit more gas flow than what would be the rule of thumb on gas lenses, just because I like to run a little bit more stick out. Do I have any spool gun videos for aluminum? I don't have a spool gun video, but a couple weeks ago we actually did an aluminum MIG video using just a standard MIG whip. So I had a Teflon liner, an oversized tip, and we ran some just straight aluminum MIG. I did some single pulse MIG, but I am looking to get a spool gun mainly to hook up to my Lightning MTS 225, just because it does have a spool gun setting. So that is coming in the future. So here, number 4 gas lens, 10 CFH, all the same settings. Let's see how she runs. Came off the pedal a little hard there. Oh. All right, you'll have to ignore my gigantic crater. My foot kind of slipped off the pedal there at the end. But there you go, number 4 gas lens. Same balance. We're actually running 10 CFH, so we're running a little extra gas flow than what would typically be recommended. But you can see there's almost no etching on that run, especially compared to, there's our 6 standard at appropriate gas flow. So there you go. So let's go way too high in gas flow, and then we'll show you what that looks like on a gas lens. And actually, I got to type a comment real quick, guys. Give me just 1 second. Hold on with me a second, guys. All right. So if you guys are following along with the live stream chat, I had a question from someone that was hearing impaired about having captions for the live stream. I'm not sure how to do that for the live stream yet, but with my video or the end of the episode last week, that is something I'm working on. And I did talk to Neil, my buddy at work. He's interested in coming on. I'm actually looking to see if I can find a sign language interpreter so Neil can sign, and then I can have an interpreter back behind the camera narrating for Neil. So that way everybody can get a little bit of a benefit from it. But that's going to be a really cool one. I really hope I can set something up with Neil to get him up here and do that, because I think that'd be super cool. Back on track. Let's go up in gas flow on this number 4 gas lens. So let's go up to 25 CFH. Now, when we first did this video for the Everlast channel, one of the things I noticed is that a standard cup is more sensitive going up in gas flow than it is going down, whereas a gas lens is less sensitive going up and more sensitive going down. And I think you'll see that right here. Where if we took this number 4 gas lens down to 5 CFH, it would be basically like not welding with any shielding gas. Whereas even with that number 6 at too low of gas flow, we could still run a bead. It was a little bit dirty, even though we were at half the gas flow recommendation. So back on track. 25 CFH, number 4 gas lens. Same settings as before. I can actually hear the gas flow raging out of this thing. So let's do another one real quick. Alrighty, let's go to up close cam. So as I said, that a gas lens is less sensitive going up in gas flow, and here is proof of that. So number 4 cup, 25 CFH, number 4 cup, 12 CFH, almost identical, little more etching. Obviously the bead was a lot cleaner though. Very shiny. It's actually hard to pick up how much shinier that bead is than the rest of them. Again, here's our here's our heat signatures. So this is at our our higher gas flow at our 24 CFH, and here's at our 12 CFH. So there you go. But it just kind of goes to show you that running the gas lens at the proper size, at the proper gas flow, does not produce more etching. So now let's take a pretty big jump. Let's go from this number 4 gas lens. Let's go up to a number 7, which is typically what I like to run. So we'll go straight to a number 7. I'm not going to change any settings. I'll leave the gas flow high, and let's try it again. So let's run one more. Oop, I might have been a little high on that one. Sorry, guys. All right, so then we switched up to a number 7 gas lens. Well, so number 7 gas lens. John Sobel, I'm using 5554. So you can see same gas flow settings between a 4 and a 7 gas lens. So this is still our 24 CFH. This is our 24 CFH on a 7. So now on the 7, I'm going to go back down in gas flow, clean up some of this etching, and then be able to see the results. So give me a second. Let me change that gas flow back down. So running the 7, I'm going to go down to like 15 CFH. Probably more like 17, 18 CFH is where I want to be. It's typically where I like to run. Now with a 4, we can if you guys want, we can push out the the stick out length and see how far you can stick out on a 4 gas lens versus how far you can stick out on a 7 gas lens. And that's kind of why I'll run a 7 most of the time, is I can get a lot more stick out for getting in tight corners. I'm getting in tight areas, especially on the intercoolers that I build. So number 7 gas lens. That proper gas flow now. We're running them side by side with that those runs we just did at 24, 25 CFH. Can't believe how well the ARC camera is working tonight. We haven't had a single issue. So, up close cam. So there we go. This is number 7 gas lens at 24, 25 CFH. Number 7 gas lens at about, I'd say 17 to 18 CFH. So you can see the, it might be hard to pick up on the camera, but the etching line is a lot cleaner on these lower gas flow runs. It's a lot sharper, whereas it's pretty feathery on these 2 higher gas flow runs. But see, I was actually running a little bit less amperage there. This piece is starting to get pretty hot, so I wouldn't pay attention to the heat input on these 4. But see, my start was actually, my etching here compared to here, compared to there, a lot smaller. I got a little dirt here, but yeah, so there you go. Yeah, the gas flow plays a huge role in your etching. And you can see too, even running that number 4 at 20, 25 CFH, still had almost no etching. So it's kind of a combo, but it's a balance between cup flow or gas flow and cup size. So now we'll go back down. Let's go back down to a 6 gas lens. I'm going to run it at my same gas flow settings I was just running, so like 18 CFH. Let you guys see that real quick. Again, if you guys want to see anything or want to see a demo on something, especially tonight, just put it in the comments. Let's see if I can jump to it real quick. Camera lock up? No, man. For being number 13, we're getting some good luck tonight. So, all right. Now we went to a number 6 gas lens. What did I just run? So these 2 top ones here. Those 2 top runs. Number 6 gas lens at 18 CFH. So you can see compared to the 7, 6 ran almost identical. A little bit cleaner maybe. Still nice and shiny. So yeah, there you go, guys. Kind of one of the things I wanted to show with this is it's not really your standard versus your gas lens that makes a difference on etching. It's proper gas flow per the cup. Proper gas flow per the cup is going to make the biggest impact on your arc stability, your starts, your etching line. So that's going to be your biggest Wrap around corner on fillet. I even read it as wrap around. I knew what you meant. I got fat thumbs. So let's wrapping around a corner on a fillet weld. Okay. I'm going to switch my cup out to what I prefer. So I'm going to switch to my number 7. We were already running proper gas flow for a 7. So here we go. This is my standard setup. This is what I like. I'll get a little bit more etching, but I get a really clean bead. I can run quite a bit of stick out with a 7 gas lens. Square tube. I don't have any square tube, but I do have some of that aluminum C channel. So let me grab a piece of that real quick, because it's nice and thick. So let me grab a piece of that real fast, and we'll wrap around a corner on this aluminum C channel. It's almost the same as what you want to see. Hold on, did I just rip my mic out? Nope. There we go. 1 second, guys. Let me grab the C channel. All right. So John, Sobel, yeah, I like a foot pedal. I'll use a trigger, the finger switch that the Everlast machines come with. I'll use the trigger if I'm doing a roll cage, or I'm welding something in an odd position. But mainly I like to use a foot pedal. I'm a bench welder. People can talk shit about that if they want. Come at me, bro. But yeah, I like running the foot pedal. I have the most control with it. So that's what I like. I do need to turn my amperage up a little bit. I'm going to go up pretty high. So I was at 121. I'm going to go to like 250 amps. So just so you guys can see, this is some pretty thick aluminum C channel. So we'll try wrapping around this corner. Since, was it Derek? Derek, that's what you wanted to see? So I do not use a pulse, a foot pedal pulse, or a machine pulse on aluminum mountains. I've been doing enough aluminum, especially when I was at my previous employer. We'll go unnamed. But when I was there, I knew the amperages that I needed for everything. So I would set my machine, like I knew welding an intercooler, I needed 165 amps max to get started. And so I would set my machine to 165 amps, and then I would start running along. And just from running it over and over and over again, I knew 165 was, if I set the machine to 280 amps, 165 was the average of where I like to start. So I set the machine at 165, and then as I went down a run, I could end up as low as 135, 133 amps over an 18-inch run on the intercooler. And so that's why I like a foot pedal. It's a lot easier to control. You have a lot more finite amperage control with a foot pedal, I feel. So this is a good thick to thin too. So we've got some 1/4 inch at the bottom of the web. This is like 1/4 inch thick, maybe even pushing 3/8 thick C channel. So let's tack this up real quick. Again, I'm running 250 amps. And our base here is 090. Let me tack this real quick. I saw a question come in from Stacy. Is it Stacy Corey? 1/8 inch. 1/8 inch tungsten is my go-to for aluminum. It's just from when I was, again, working at unsaid previous employer. I would run anywhere from like 90 amps up to like 280. And so 332nd, if I had some 332nd, but constantly going from like 90 amps to 280, I'd have to switch out to 1/8 inch tungsten anyway to go to 280 amps. So eventually I just stayed with 1/8 inch tungsten, period. I did a lot of testing with even different cup sizes. We did different gases, different tungsten, and I stayed on 1/8 inch tungsten. And so even now, for aluminum, I pretty much only run an 1/8 inch tungsten. Actually, that little run I did earlier with the standard cup running 332nd tungsten, that was the first time I ran 332nd tungsten on aluminum in probably the better half of a decade. So, all right, thick to thin. I'm doing a fillet weld wrapping around this corner. So let's try and get this on the arc cam. I don't know how well this is going to work, but we'll give it a shot. Then we're going to run up normal fillet weld. So I like to go past the corner by about a dab, by about a full dab. So let's get on the up close cam and I'll kind of show you that, what that looks like. So you can see I'm actually, I'm out past this edge by almost a full dab. So what that allows me to do, let's see if I can, what way looks the best? I can't really tell. So what that allows me to do is it starts my run. Oh, let's get up close. So instead of trying to start right on the corner and then coming around, having that little extra dab of filler rod out past this edge allows me to come right in square and start running again. I don't have to try to bring my puddle out and then wrap around. I've already brought my puddle out when I terminated that first run. So then my next step is just to change position and come along. And so when I make this restart, I'll start. Let me get up closer. So I make this restart. I'm not going to start out here. I'm going to start all the way back here. So when we make this run, you'll see it a little bit better. I'll get on the arc shot cam. You're looking at my ceiling for a second. So here we go. So if you guys can see it on the arc shot cam, I'm not going to start here on the toe. I'm going to start back here. You know, if you imagine there's a plane, you know, right here where my filler rod is on this other side coming out, I'm going to start back behind the face of this side. There you go, nice easy run. Try to keep you guys in focus, in the frame. So again, I come to the corner, map the corner, one extra dab. So we'll go back up close. Oh, there we go. So you can see I've got almost a full dab past that plane. So when I can start this next weld, I'm not having to start back here and bring my bead out and then move. It's already where I want to be to make this next run. So here we go. So again, I'm not starting right here on the very front edge of the toe. I'm going to start back like I'm on that previous run. Here we go, melt it back in, move up to my thicker piece. Nice termination. And it finally locked up. Yeah, we gave it compliments and it finally locked up. So it is what it is. So yeah, that's it's actually really, his camera was really good last week too. I don't think we had a single time that it kicked off last night. And holy crap, it's already 8:06. Granted, we wasted like 20 minutes at the start. So yeah, that's it, guys. That again, being live, I know I've seen a couple complaints that, oh, there's an hour, it's an hour-long show and there's like 5 minutes of content. Yeah, it's a live show. I don't know what to tell you, but so yeah, a little bit of baseline info for you guys. Once the video's posted tonight, you can go back and kind of use it as a benchmark. Kind of seeing like, okay, this is what I saw when gas flow was too high compared to your weld. You can kind of shift there. And running these inside runs is kind of fun. Let's just for shits and giggles, let's run that. This is a pretty tight one. John, so every Monday night I won't say every Monday night. We every now and then I get sick, we get a storm. I live out in the boonies in northern Missouri. So I get a storm comes through here. My internet's pretty janky and the internet will go out. So like 2 weeks ago, I didn't have any internet because we were having like 80-mile-an-hour winds. But yeah, every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central is what we do. So if you guys want to stick with me, I'm going to run the inside of the C channel. Let's see if the arc shot cam will keep it going. A couple different little, it's a nice little, this will be a good little lesson too. So Derek, this is, thanks for bringing this up. So welding like inside, welding inside stuff like this can be really tricky because you can't come at it, until you get over on this side. You can't come at it like you normally would, holding your torch like this. So you'll have to like flip your torch, basically hold it upside down. So let's run that real quick, and then we'll run the inside of this C channel. Because you guys, if you're making repairs or building stuff, every now and then you'll run into something stupid like that. So, or if you're like me, you'll run into an engineer that gives you something real fun. So let's get in the arc shot cam and see how we can do this. This might not work out with the angle of my head that I need to see. So we got to round the corner, so I'm going to adjust how I'm holding the torch. Let's do, sorry guys, I'm bouncing around. Do picture in picture. So you can see I'm holding the torch upside down. So I'm going to actually, you guys aren't going to be able to see this on the arc shot cam, but I'm going to hold the torch upside down and then run into this corner. So I'll leave the camera out like that. I actually need to stand up because this is pretty tall. and at least we're at the end of the show and the camera starts messing up. Oh, so we'll go with the up close cam, see if we get a little better perspective there. So sometimes when you're doing like an inside corner like this, you almost have to back feed. So you almost have to run the torch at a back angle and feed and then switch back out. Now, yeah, I could lay this down and run, especially running these vertical would be really easy. You know, sometimes positioning yourself isn't always possible, but you know, for something where you can't change how it's oriented, that's why we're going to do it like this. So I'm going to get up in here. We'll try the arc shot cam. I've got to get a little close, and my head angle is going to be kind of goofy, so you guys might not be able to see this very well. Yep, it locked up. And it locked up. Oh, well. All right, I'm just going to finish running this out. We're pretty much done for the night, but if you guys want to hang out and watch me finish this out, you're more than welcome to watch. Here I am. I'm turning that corner. And don't stop. Don't stop. Make it around the next corner. There you go. Wrap your corners. All right, guys. There you go. Thank you for joining me again tonight. We had a big crowd tonight. I was kind of surprised with all the snafus we had earlier. So, again, everybody, thanks for joining me every night or every Monday. I really appreciate it. The nights I can't make it, and you guys hit me up. Or, you know, where you at, man? Missing the show tonight. Means a lot to me, guys. It really does. This is kind of a ragtag, you know, rinky-dink thrown together thing. I'm having a lot of fun with it, so I hope you guys are enjoying it. I see a lot of the same names, so there must be something good. So, again, guys, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you guys coming every Monday night. Hopefully we can start making this something that people are really getting something out of. So until next week, have a good one.